Hello everybody, SSA here, aka Super Suna Arashi, your coach of the Groningen Noctowls, bringing you week 8 of the BBL Season 2 as we take on choiced coach of the Baltimore Oriolus. So my apologies for this video being very late. Yesterday I had an appointment to the doctor's office because I have a mole on my arm and I didn't trust it because it felt to me that it grew a little bit in size and it changed a bit of color. So I didn't take any risk there and I called the doctor and I was like, I wanted to get this checked out because, you know, it's something you have to check out if you're not feeling okay with it. So I did, everything is okay. If it gets worse, I should of course call the doctor again and let it checked out, but the doctor said everything is 100% fine. So it was good for me to, you know, go to the doctors because you don't fuck around with that kind of shit. So, and a lot of other stuff happened this week, so I did not have a lot of energy to sit down and, you know, post commentate over this match. And this match, holy shit, let me tell you, Choice his team is champion worthy. He can actually take this team and become the champion of this season of the BBL. His team is so scary. So let's take a look at his team that he brought in our match. He's bringing a Scissor, a Primarina, a Dark Arceus, a Heatran, a Xatu, and a Piloswine. Now the Darkius, as a lot of people call it, that thing is just an absolute monster this season, and in my honest opinion it should be banned next season. It's just not a fun thing to face off against, but I'm going to try my hardest, and I bring my Seismitoad, my Lugia, my Naganadel, my Hariyama, my Aromatisse, and the Torkoal. So you can see with Hariyama and Aromatisse in my squad, we're trying to counter the Darkius as much as we can. And, you know, the Aromatisse also pretty works well against the Xatu. It could work out well against the Primarina. And Hariyama can also put in a lot of work against his side of the field. You know, the Heatran, the Piloswine, and the Arceus. And, you know, I started out very offensively. As I said before, I'm a very hyper-offensive coach, and in this match I knew I had to play hyper-offensive to actually, you know, have a shot of winning this match. So I did. I started out with Seismitoad, and whatever wants to come in, I'm going to try my hardest to actually, you know, do some damage. So I'm going to start out with Seismitoad, and I was like, okay, I can click Hydro Pump here. There's no reason for me to not click Hydro Pump. Whatever he wants to comes in and Hydro Pump will take damage on something. He goes into the Xatu, and that is going to take a lot of damage from the Seismitoad. And here I was like, if he wants to switch into the Primarina right now, clicking Sludge Wave is the best play. If he wants to go in the Heatran, that would have been a very ballsy play, but I knew after refilling Hydro Pump with the Life Up damage, he wasn't going into the Heatran at that point. So going for Sludge Wave, that takes out the Primarina very well. And I'm just going to refill my third move right now and click Earth Power for if he wants to switch out into the Heatran right now after refilling Sludge Wave. He's not going to switch out. He didn't take the risk there, which was unlucky for us, but I can understand the reasoning why he'd let down Primarina this early on in the match, since Primarina could not really do a lot up my team at, you know, the help that it was at after the Sludge Wave. So then the monster of my opponent comes in, the Darkius. I'm going into my Aromatisse to counter it, but that Psyshock is still doing quite a lot of damage. We will get some leftovers recovery here, and at this point I can, you know, try to hit it with a Moonblast. Now he's of course going to switch out back into the Scissor, predicting that, and of course the Moonblast will not do a lot against the Scissor. So you can see, like, his team is so well balanced with the Heatran, with the Scissor, with the Arceus, and also with the Xatu, and you will see that later on in the match with the Xatu, because I over predicted in this match, and that is going to, you know, be very bad for me in the progress of this match. So I'm now here in my Hariyama, and he is going into his Xatu. Now he's of course going to roost off the damage while I'm going to knock off, because whatever he had as an item I want it gone. And he's going to reveal that he is a berry. Now he will still do a decent amount of damage, but you know, thanks to the crit. But if it was another item instead of the Colbert berry, it would have done so much more in my honest opinion, and that could have taken care of the Satu and possibly, you know, made this match a lot easier for us. But you know, him bringing Colbert berry on the Satu was a very good tactic and a very good preparation from his part, and that's not the only good preparation that he had with this Satu. I was very surprised with this Satu, and you can actually see it right here. He's going to roost up to get him at full HP, and I'm going into my Heatran because with the Drought, with the Sun up, I can still do amazing damage with the Torkoal. But, and I'm going to pause here because I double switch out into the Heatran while he stayed in and Calm Mind, and when I saw that I almost shit my pants, because Calm Mind Satu is quite scary, and that's not the only thing that's quite scary. But let me actually pause and explain why I switch out. It's very simple. I was like hoping to bait him going into the Heatran at this point after refilling my Torkoal. But seeing his side after the match, his Satu could probably tank a lot for my Torkoal at that point, so he felt comfortable to stay in on the Satu with the Torkoal. So I really over-predicted there going into my Hariyama, hoping he would get into the Heatran, and this puts me in such a you know, in a bad spot right now. Because Calm Mind Satu, I have my Heatran here, so I was like, shit, I overpredicted. But I had to overpredict, I had to do this, because as I said before, I had to play somewhat offensive to try to whittle his team down with the likes of the Scissor, with the likes of the Heatran, and with the likes of the Arceus. So, in my honest opinion, I stand with my play here. It is overpredicting, but I stand behind my reasoning to double switch into the Hariyama, and you know, it could have worked out, but the preparation of my opponent made sure that, you know, he felt comfortable to stay in, and you know, we kinda made a bad play in that regards. I fake out here to do at least some chip damage. It's not going to do that much. And at this point, you know, he's going to Calm Mind again, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know what I need to do against this Satu. The only thing I can do is, you know, try to keep knocking off and try to hope for a crit again, because that could put him in a range that it could have killed the Satu at that point. But I switch out back into my Aromatisse here, hoping I can tank anything that this Satu wants to do against me. He's going to roost up again, and here he is going to reveal the one thing that scared me the most, and where I thought to myself, this game is probably over. He's going to reveal Baton Pass, and he's going into the Heatran. So at this point, I did not want to risk, you know, letting any of my other Pokemon go down, because I think looking at the match itself, I didn't think that Aromatisse would do a lot at this point, seeing that I only had like Moonblast, Protect, I think Heal Wish, and something else, but I can't really know now right now at the top of my head, because it was a long time ago that we had this match now. But I knew I could not, you know, do a lot against this Heatran. So he's going to Magma Storm me, you know, making sure that I'm, you know, I can't switch out either way. So, you know, it was just like, okay, what I can do right now is just hope I can Moonblast by, you know, lowering his special attack enough. It did it once, but I need some more, you know, lowering of his special attack, and then maybe we can still, you know, try to work stuff out against this Heatran. But, you know, Aromatisse is going down, and I nicknamed Aromatisse Naya Jax, so it's kind of fitting that it goes down so that easily, because, yeah, that maybe I should have not nicknamed it Naya Jax, because then maybe it still would have had a chance this season to actually do some work. But Yeah, Jax is going to die here. I try to protect here, a bit of a PP stalling here if he wants to go for another, you know, Magma Storm or something like that. He's going to Earth Power to preserve the Magma Storm here. You know, there was not anything else I could do. I could have tried to attack it again, but I knew the Magma Storm was going to kill me either way. So, yeah. Aromatisse goes down. I maybe could have played it better here, but it gives me now a free switch into my Hariyama, and I can now, you know, click close combat here. And I think I did click close combat, but of course he still has the Satu lying around. So the close combat will absolutely do nothing because that's 4-time resisted, and our defense is going to fall and special defense is going to fall. Should have went for the knockoff maybe again, but it is what it is. I overpredicted in this match, and that's going to bite me in the ass. But still, my opponent played very well. Of course, he's going for another Calm Mind, knowing that he can take another knockoff and then roost it up again. I went into my Seismitoad again, trying to, you know, do some more, you know, offensive plays here to hopefully whittle his team down. But again, he's going to Baton Pass, and this time he's going into the Arceus Dark. And now with a +1 special defense and +1 special attack, that Hydro Pump is still doing a decent amount of damage against the Arceus. But that special defense boost from the Calm Mind earlier, you know, made sure that it's going to, you know, do the absolute work now against my team. And I think I can already spoil you guys that I'm going to lose this match with 5-0, which is very, very bad for us. Because, well, not bad, it's just painful. Painful is the better word, to be honest. Because, you know, you hate it when you go into a match knowing you have an opponent that has an Arceus Dark, a Scissor, a Heatran, and you're trying your ass off. And in the beginning it did work, you know, the offensive playstyle that I had. But that Satu was just such an amazing, you know, preparation for my opponent that I can just, after the match, just sit there and applaud for him, you know, bringing that. And it worked out well for him. And I can act angry and mad or anything else, annoyed even, but sometimes you gotta respect, sometimes you gotta just, you know, sit there and be like, yeah, there was nothing I can do against this team. Except, for, of course, for the over-predicting that I did. But again, in my honest feeling, it was, for me, the only thing I could do to try to put some pressure on my opponent, and my opponent just outsmarted me in that regards, so nothing but respect for that. And the only reason I'm not commentating over the match again is because my Arceus is just slaughtering my whole team at the moment, and it's just painful to watch and commentate over. But it is what it is. You know, I still had a fun match at the beginning with Seismitoad, and Andrade comes in. Can't really do anything against this thing right now. And again, said it in the past couple of weeks, I'm really playing that badly with Naganadel. And it's just that it didn't fit for my team, just like the Tapu Lele. So if I ever join the Season 3 of the BBL, another Ubers League, I now know that certain mons just don't fit my playstyle. And, you know, that's a learning moment for me. And you know, I'm not perfect when it comes to Draft League, and there's always room for, you know, improvement in that regards. But still, Choice played an amazing match. Again, I think he's one of the #1 contenders for this season to be the champion. And with that Arceus, he should actually become the champion. But his link will, of course, be in the description below, as well as his side of the match, which was uploaded at the time. So be sure to check that out. I watched that match. It was very fun to see his side and his views and commentary about this match. Of course, all of the other coaches will be in the description below, as well as all the social media links for the BBL. Be sure to check it out. You know, we have a rough run in the BBL, but I'm still having fun, and that's all that matters. You know, we have to keep the positivity going, and you know, that is all that I can say for this week's match. Even though we got slaughtered, I do hope that you still enjoyed this match. I still hope you enjoyed the commentary. I think I'm getting better in commentary, actually. So let me know if I still have some improvements to do to commentary. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share this video with others, slash the subscribe button down below, and hit the bell icon, because then you get notified every time I upload a new video, and that is sincerely appreciated. But with that, we're going to end this video here, and I will see you guys next week in week 9 of the BBL.